Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Conversations with my son. This is Papa Tarun and I'm with my favorite co-host and podcast partner.
Kian!
Hello Kian, welcome back.
It's good to be back. It's so good to be on this podcast again. I love podcasts.
Amazing. So on the last podcast your sister said the same thing. She loves podcasts and now I'm glad you love podcasts too. I like the enthusiasm in the family here. Hopefully our listeners are enjoying it as much as we are.
Hopefully.
So Kian, I think last week we did something on World Book Day and we talked about books and what books mean to you and the imagination and characters of books. Let's talk a bit more about imagination and characters because there's another part of imagination that you enjoy, and that's movies, right?
Movies. Movies. I love movies.
You do, and I think you like a particular kind of movies. You like the adventures, the mystery, the fun,
The battling?
the battling. So it's similar to the books you like, right? Because we talked about Secret Seven and Famous Five.
Oh, yeah.
So if I remember, one of your favorite movies, and let's pause here, but you will sort of build it up because this episode comes
Okay,
into that.
I'm not going to give away the secret.
You're not going to give away the secret, but let's tell the audience which one is one of your favorite movies of all time.
It's somewhere where he gets lost in New York City.
I think I know what
And
this is.
I'll give you a number 2.
Oh, is it Home Alone 2?
Yes!
All right, so this is can tell our listeners. I'm sure most of them have watched it, but tell our listeners what this movie is about.
It's about a boy, who's Kevin, and he gets lost in New York City because he takes the wrong flight, because he gets split up from his parents in the airport, and he thinks someone else is his papa, so he follows them, but then he goes in the wrong flight, so then his family lands somewhere else, and then he goes to New York.
He goes to New York, and then there, what does he end up doing?
He ends up seeing the sights, and I don't know where he sleeps, but he just goes around, and eventually he battles these baddies who want to steal toy store.
Oh yes, he does, and these are the baddies he battles in Home Alone 1 as well, right? But here
Yeah.
he defends a new, completely strange house in New York City.
Yeah.
And I think you like this story for two reasons, or this movie for two reasons, because one, it's about an 8-year-old boy, so he's roughly your age, and two, because it's around Christmas time, which is one of your favorite
They're
times.
both around Christmas time.
They're both around Christmas time, which is one of your favorite times of the year, right?
Yes, but it's the same boy in 1 and 2.
Yeah. So you like the character as well, and I think you imagine yourself doing some of this, right?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes.
Which is great. Which is the reason behind this episode. It was your mama's idea as we were brainstorming about episodes and podcasts. She suggested let's put Kian in the situation of Home Alone or Kevin in Home Alone and see where his imagination takes him. So this is an imaginary day in Kian's life, not Kevin's life. Kian is home alone. So what would he do? So Kian, let's start. So you're home alone, or we're recreating Home Alone 2. So if you were to board a wrong flight and you were to go to a city, which was the city you would end up in, or would you like to go in and be alone in?
I think it would be Amsterdam.
Ooh, Amsterdam. This is one of Kian's favorite cities of all times. If you listen back to one of our previous episodes, Kian talked about Amsterdam and how it was one of his favorite cities. So Kian, you're in Amsterdam, you've boarded the wrong flight and you've landed there. What would be one of the first things you would do in Amsterdam?
I will get the hotel that we got when we went to Amsterdam, and then I will go out and explore the city, and then stop at a waffle place in Amsterdam. And Amsterdam's waffles are just great. I'll eat one and take some to the hotel.
Wow. So already, Kian, I asked him what would be the first thing you do, and he's already got four things lined up. So he would get a nice hotel, he would go toward the city, he would get his waffles, and then he would bring waffles back to the hotel. So he's already planned his day out, and he's thought about what he would do in up until the evening as well. Okay, let's discuss the sights you would see, because in Home Alone, I know Kevin goes to like the Empire State Building, he goes to the Statue of Liberty, he sees quite a few other things. What were the? You've been to Amsterdam, so what were your favorite sites, and what would you like to see when you were there?
I really like going on the boat and seeing things like that we see when you're going on a boat in the river of Amsterdam. I think it's river.
It is. It's the canals of Amsterdam. So you would take the boat ride in the canals of Amsterdam, and then what else, Kian? I know we did a lot in Amsterdam in a week, and so what else would you end up doing?
I'll take a tour.
You take the tour as well. Wow. And I think on the tour we went to, was it a cheese factory, if I remember, or something like that. Would you do all of that as well?
I would go to the cheese factory. I'll skip one.
You'd skip that one. So Kian's already deviating from what his mama papa made him do, and he'd do something totally different. But I do remember we did a tour of a chocolate factory. So I'm guessing, Kian, you would skip that as well.
No, I will. I will stop at the chocolate factory, and if they will give me some, I will buy some, and then I will keep some to take back to the hotel as well. So I have some food if I'm hungry.
Whoa.
So if the waffles get over, we have chocolate from Amsterdam.
Oh my goodness. So Kian, your dinner is already comprising of dessert. I hear waffles, I hear chocolate. But what about the main dinner? What else would you eat? I'm not hearing any actual food. Or is this like Kevin in New York, where he just orders room service and it's all kinds of stuff that he gets, like ice creams and cakes and things?
I will. So for the food, I will go to the hotel and ask them where's a good place to eat for a
Wow.
child. So then they will tell me, so I can go to the place, and then I can get some that and then hopefully there's gonna be what should we have for dinner?
You're a very
Pizza.
Oh, I was going to say in New York, Kevin orders pizza, so it seems like you're following what Kevin does there as well. And in New York, he goes all around town and gets his big cheese pizza. Is that one of your favorite too, Kian?
Mm, cheese pizza.
Nice. So Kian's got his day planned out. He's got his desserts planned out. He's got his activities planned out. Now, let me ask you: in Home Alone, Kevin does. I keep confusing the two of you because now I'm thinking you are in New York and he's in Amsterdam. But in Home Alone, Kevin goes to the hotel and the hotel asks him where his parents are, and he makes up a story about having his dad's credit card and stuff like that. How would you get through the hotel, Kian?
I would say I'm already 20.
Oh, they're not gonna believe you. You're a kid. How are they gonna believe you're 20, Kian?
I will say that I didn't drink my milk.
Oh, so you're small. You're a small 20-year-old. And what if they ask for your passport or something? What are you gonna do?
I will have my passport.
But your passport says your age. How are you gonna convince them then?
I will rub it out and write 20.
Oh my goodness, you're going to forge your passport. Oh dear. Okay. And what if they how are you going to deal with the money, or is it are you thinking that by accident Papa has left his credit card and wallet with you as well?
It's free.
It's free.
Yes.
No, things are not freaky. And how are you going to create all of this? You have to think about some ideas. You're going to imagine that it's all going to be free.
Okay, then it will rain money.
It will rain money. Wow. And everyone's going to get money, or is it going to rain money only on you?
It's gonna rain money on everyone.
Wow.
Only for 15 minutes though.
That's a lot, though. People can
No,
get
5 minutes.
people can get a lot of money in 5 minutes. Are you going to be able to grab enough to sponsor your entire trip?
It's gonna rain everywhere in Amsterdam, so of course I'll just run outside the hotel and grab it and
Very
give it
good.
to the hotel.
Wow, I hope it rains. If everyone's listening, maybe Amsterdam's the place to be where you need to imagine that money is going to be raining down. So that's where you can grab some with Kian. And then Kian, okay, so are we imagining that this is going to be a long trip where you're going to stay in Amsterdam for a few days, or is it going to be just a day or two where you're going to have a quick hop and hop over back to the UK as well?
It's gonna be a few days.
What else are we going to do in Amsterdam? So we've had cheese pizza, canal boat ride, we've had a tour, we've had the chocolate factory. What else are we going to do in Amsterdam?
When it's night, I will go to sleep, and in the morning breakfast. I will go to a breakfast place.
Whoa! And what's for breakfast, Kian?
Toast.
Toast and eggs. Oh, I was thinking more waffles.
No, but the waffle are only to say sometimes.
Okay.
Because I will take some to the UK because I miss them.
Oh, so you'll bring back some for Mama, Papa, and Trisha, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, look at this responsible kid. So, whereas in Home Alone, Kevin goes all out and does crazy things, this guy is already thinking of coming back home and bringing stuff for his parents. And he's already thinking about how he's going to be disciplined and eat a good, healthy breakfast.
But there's also something else there's something that I forgot.
What did you forget, Kian?
The Kumon pack!
Oh, you're going to have to do homework on holiday. I thought you were going to say, I would wish that I never have to do Kumon again.
I forgot the pack at home.
So you won't have to do it anyway on this trip.
Yeah, there's nothing. But maybe I will ask to borrow a phone for TT Rockstars.
Oh, you really love TT Rockstars. Even on his imaginary day and his imaginary holiday, Kian is going to do TT Rockstars. Guys, excuse me, you better watch out because Kian's all about TT Rockstars and he's going to crush it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Kian, that's your imaginary trip to Amsterdam. What else? Let me ask you, in Home Alone, Kevin was all alone, but he made some friends along the way. Do you think you would end up making friends, or do you think you'd want to go on this trip with some friends as well?
There's Hugo.
You have Hugo. Is he a friend?
Yes, he's my friend who lives in Amsterdam.
So you would contact him when you'd get there?
Yes.
And how would you do that? Would you have your own phone?
I will ask the hotel to telephone their number.
Oh, okay. So you would ask the hotel to find Hugo and contact him. And what would you do with Hugo in Amsterdam? Let's imagine this crazy day.
We will. I think we will get a race car and we will go on a kiddie racetrack where you can drive around on the racetrack super fast.
Wow, this would be amazing. Now we're talking. Now Kian's going crazy with his imagination. He's going to be driving around on a racetrack with Hugo. Hugo, are you ready for Kian? Hugo, if you're listening, you better be prepared. Kian's coming to Amsterdam to look for you. What else, Kian? So now imagine you have the last few days and or last few hours in Amsterdam. What would be the last few things you would do before, say, you would have to get on that flight back to the UK?
I will get some thing to remember my trip.
Such as?
A KLM jet.
A KLM jet?
Yeah.
An actual jet?
No, just a toy.
Just a toy. You would bring a toy back.
And maybe when I'm just planning this in the future for when I get back. Maybe I'll find the Concorde of British Airways in Heathrow.
Oh, okay. Yes, we talked about the Concorde a bit. You love that, and I think that's something that's on your target list of planes to get, right? Okay, Kian, I think that's an interesting imaginary day. It's a very responsible imaginary day you've had in Amsterdam. I know people would go a lot crazier than you. Hopefully, it sounds like knowing you wouldn't get into any trouble, and you'd have a good day in Amsterdam. So let's possibly leave it there.
No, in the last say 15 hours. in the last 15 hours, something strange happens.
Such as?
Bandits attack me.
And what would you do then?
I would, I would have brought some of the pretend money with me that Trishy has, and I will give them pretend money, and then they will leave me alone.
Okay, so you would pay them off. But why pretend money? You said it's going to rain money, so you would get the money.
Only for a few minutes, and so it's not raining money anymore. But then they come back and ask for, because they found out it's fake, because they can't pay for anything. So they attack me really. So I do something. I have to go to an old house, and there's no one used, and set traps there.
Oh, okay. You'd have to find an old house and set traps there to defeat them, like Kevin. So you'd have an adventurous last few hours in Amsterdam, car racing with Hugo, fighting bandits, paying them off, and
Shall I show you? Shall I tell you how I'm gonna fight them off? I'm gonna put quite a few rubber bands on the door, front door, back door, whatever, how many doors there are, and then they're gonna bounce until they break it with scissors or something. Then they break it. I'm gonna do something. While they're trying to break it, I'll run upstairs, call the police, and then they will get caught easily.
Cool. So you would trap them and get them caught by the police. So well done there. Okay, Kian. Thanks. I hope you had a fun imaginary day in Amsterdam with Kian there. I think Amsterdam is an imaginary place a lot of people would like to go, and a lot of our listeners would like to go. So hopefully you have a good trip and you collect some money, and we'll speak to you on our next episode in Conversations with My Son.
Bye.
Bye bye.
But I'll also fly back before.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.